welcome to my first ever Trim Healthy Man interview with our great friend Bruce Painter here. We're so glad that he's allowed us to interview him on his job site of all places. And I really relate to Bruce because he's laying hardwood flooring. Is that right, Bruce?
I'm doing a laminate flooring today.
Yeah, so he's laying flooring. I laid flooring, hung crown molding, built-in bookcases for 15 years. So I know exactly what he's doing today, and it's really cool to see that world again. I haven't seen it in so long. And Bruce, I just want to say welcome to our interview.
Well, thank you, Danny. I count it a privilege to be the first guy on a Trim Healthy Mama testimony per video. Kind of the reason we're doing this is to break the glass ceiling for us men in THM.
Yeah, that's right.
I was the first one to come out of the closet and actually acknowledge that I was listening to the podcast, to the potty. And, they call me Braveheart. Maybe that's why I was the first one to be brave enough to admit I was listening.
Yeah, Sir Bruce the Braveheart. I put the word out on the podcast. If there are any men listening, please email us at support@trimhealthymama.com. and let me know. I need to know that you're out there. And Bruce was the first one I heard from. And at the time, I think we had about 17 men. Hopefully that's gone up. In fact, if you're watching this and you are a male, please email support@trimhealthymama. I'd love to get a head count. But that's not what we're talking about today. I kind of want to start and hear kind of like the pre-Trim Healthy Mama. Can we just call it Trim Healthy Man, by the way, for the purpose of this interview? So pre-Trim Healthy Man, give me a snapshot of what you were eating, the food lifestyle you had, and any problems maybe that sort of eating brought on while I put on my chapstick.
Right. Well, I've been doing this trade for 30 years, and I always used to joke around with people that I never had to really worry about what I ate because I burnt it off and because of all the activity, and I always joked around and never had to go to the gym because I got all the exercise I needed and stuff, and I probably survived a long time because I was active. If I had an off job, I probably would have had bad repercussions earlier.
Yeah.
But when I turned 50, I noticed my metabolism was slowing down. I noticed I was getting a lot of aches and pains. I was grunting a lot when I was moving and lifting things. And I was getting big love handles, and I never had that problem before. And the jiggly belly and things like that. And and I was eating the standard thing. For years I never really drank soda pop, but I would drink Gatorade and Powerade and stuff during the day. And I at the big home repair stores, like Menards and stuff, I'd buy the big bags of trail mix and stuff with the M&Ms and different candies in it and different small cookies. And you think, hey, that's pretty healthy. It's got nuts in it, But in the morning, I always have cereal, but it's usually sugar-coated cereal. But it was usually the healthy stuff, like Raisin Bran, and I would put a slice up of banana in it and pour a bunch of milk on and a couple of scoops of sugar every morning, and I thought I was being healthy, and never really gave it much thought. Maybe a little bit of thought, but not enough thought. And but really, the aches and pains really started to get pretty serious because I got to the point where my joints and my fingers were really sore. I was just getting pretty sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I had been watching my wife, who had been on Trim Healthy Mama probably for probably 5 years or so, 4 or 5. And the thing about her is she took it off and she kept it off, and vibrant and healthy. And I finally said, okay, babe, whatever you're doing, I'll do it too. And be so.
That's really, everything you just said was my exact life story when I was in construction. I said all the exact same things that, yeah, the Oreos for lunch are fine because I'm in construction, man. I'm going to burn it off. And I don't need to exercise or anything either because I'm getting it all on the job site. And it was like, that worked until the suffering got so great. Because, you mentioned tendonitis. After construction, I went on tour as a drummer, and my wrist just started locking up. I could get it to about here before it felt like someone was cutting my tendons off with the pain. And just, so much of it now I know is because of inflammation, but I was heading into, I'm approaching 40. You're a little bit older than I am. But same exact story. I was headed towards a life on drugs and hospital bills because that's just part of old age. Is you start, lining up all your pills and it, just to keep your body alive. And never once did I think about sugar, or if I did, it was just kind of like of no consequence. It was like, yeah, you shouldn't eat sugar. Got it, but not me. So
yeah, I used to reward myself for working real hard. Even though my wife wouldn't pick it up, I would stop at the grocery store on the way home and get a half gallon of ice cream, and have that every night after I had supper, because I was rewarding myself for hard work,
Man. So when you started paying attention to the results your wife was getting, and at the time, did you tie in like what sounds like onset of arthritis and all of your health issues with your eating lifestyle, or what were or did you just think weight at the time? Like, where were you at, and why did you convert, so to speak?
Well, I actually had, what really kind of scared me is I was actually getting to the point where, like, I'd be walking through Menards picking up supplies, and all of a sudden I would get lightheaded and kind of get blurred and kind of get dizzy. And so I would kind of have to lean against something until I kind of got my equilibrium back. And I thought, well, this isn't good. and then I think that was kind of what woke me up. And I figured, I look back at it now and I think I was either pre-diabetic or I was full-fledged diabetic undiagnosed, because I don't go to the doctor because I don't have health insurance or anything. So
yeah, me neither.
Yeah, and so I just thought, what, this is getting kind of serious, and I thought, what, my wife, she had been, for a couple of years, had been sneaking in Trim Healthy Mama menu things, and pretty much all our main meals were Trim Healthy Mama, and I liked them, but I was still doing my sweets on the side and everything like that. And she would actually start introducing me to Trim Healthy Mama desserts and stuff too. And at first, some of them, she tested different sweeteners and finally had to, there was a few that I just couldn't handle. But then the stevia ones I could handle, and I started getting used to that. So she was kind of conditioning me for a little bit. So when I finally really thought, what, I got to do something here. I just said one day, I said, sweetheart, whatever you're doing, I'm going to do it, and starting right now. And she goes, okay. She's right now, no more sugar, no high fructose corn syrup. And tomorrow morning, you're going to start fueling right. Stuff. Wow. So we started right off the bat and never looked back.
So did you have withdrawal symptoms? Did you second guess the plan? Or were you just, did you see results so quickly that it was a no-brainer?
Well, I was so intent on getting results that I didn't really second guess anything. I just trusted what he was doing. And what was I going to say? She just, I guess I just didn't second guess. I was just determined to do it. And right away when I started doing it, she started teaching me about the different fuels and stuff. And right away I downloaded the audio version of the Trim Healthy Mama, I think it's the second book, the one that came out a few years back, about 2 years ago.
The plan book?
Yeah, the Trim Healthy plan, Trim Healthy
Yeah.
Mama plan, the easy approach one, and
Okay.
downloaded that, and I listened to that over and over again. That's why I have these headphones here, because I would listen to audiobooks while I was working. And I, honest to this day, I've never sat down and read the book. I've just listened to it multiple times.
Who has, right?
But I have audibly, and so I got the concepts, and I was starting to feel energetic right away. And I guess you mentioned, did I have any withdrawals or side effects? And actually, for the first couple of weeks, I had diarrhea really bad. I mean, from time to time, because I think my body was just cleansing itself of all the junk that was in my gut. All of a sudden, I wasn't feeding it that sugar and stuff, and it wouldn't survive in my stomach anymore. And I was just eliminating a bunch of bad toxins in my body. But after I got that, that's when I started feeling like I could exercise. I didn't have any gym equipment or anything, so I just started doing push-ups. I think I might have heard you mention doing push-ups and stuff. So I just started doing push-ups, and I think I only do 10 at the time, and then.
Yeah. Now you started doing push-ups, and which push-ups I feel really, really changed my life as well in ways that I didn't expect. I thought push-ups and working out was for people who want to bodybuild and look buff. And I found that it actually helps with digestion even. Do you find the same types of things when you do push-ups?
Oh yeah, it revs up your metabolism.
Speaking of eating, do you have a favorite recipe? It could be a dessert, dinner, breakfast. Is there something that like what's your go-to? Let's say in the morning, for example. What do you do?
Well, for my breakfast, I usually make 3 eggs over easy, or else I'll make an omelet with cheese, loaded with cheese, and then I'll get this. 3 eggs, 4 or 5 slices of bacon, some toast that my wife makes, a low carb toast that's S meal safe, and then with peanut butter, unsweetened peanut butter and jelly, and have like half an avocado, or else maybe a small handful of strawberries or something like that.
Do you have a before and after weight you care to share with us?
Oh yeah, when I started, I was about 100. Actually, before I turned 50, I was always around 175. But that's when I started noticing things change. I had got up to about 188, 189 pounds, and I'm 5. And
you're 5 what? It broke up. Sorry.
What's that?
You're how tall? 5 what?
5'11".
Okay.
And so I would, so when I did Trim Healthy Mom, I couldn't believe it. I was eating breakfasts like that. That's how my wife started making breakfast for me. And then I was eating like that, and within a month I lost 17 pounds. I was down 171 pounds, which was lighter than I used to be. And then I ultimately got all the way down to 169, and now I'm up in the lower 70s because I've been replacing the fat cells with muscle cells. And so, I've just been you'll see it in the pictures. It's been repositioned from my stomach up to my chest.
Yep.
So it feels really good. I told my wife, it feels good to feel good.
Yeah, man. And do you have a favorite dessert?
Jeez, where do you begin? My wife makes, I think it's Serene's key lime pie. Oh, that's
okay.
And then, and at least once a week, my wife makes peanut butter and chocolate bars, sweetened with stevia. So we're not deprived by any. That's why I love about the Trim Healthy Mama plan is anything God's created, it's open fair.
Yeah, that's great, man. So anything else you want to personally share? Any parting words to the people watching, or anything I've missed?
Well, as far as the results after that, not just starting to conditioning and stuff, I did have this epiphany. I don't know if I told you or not, but I had this epiphany that athletes don't play the game to stay fit. They stay fit so they can play the game.
Yeah.
And so I thought, if they do that, and I have the same kind of job. I got a job that depends on me being able to lift things, to be able to do physical work. I thought I should do the same thing as an athlete. I should strengthen myself. I should take care of myself, because if I can't work, I don't make any money. And really, for people that don't have a physical job, it's even more important for them.
Yeah.
But what happened, Danny, is as that I started the beginning of June. Later on that summer, I was just working along one day, and I just noticed, hey, wait a minute, my fingers aren't hurting anymore. I just realized, hey, I could look at this. I'm bending my fingers. I'm not cringing or anything.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow. And then I realized my shoulders weren't hurting anymore either. And then I wonder if I can take these inserts out of my shoes.
Wow.
And I haven't wore inserts in my shoes since. Even the appendicitis went away. So my testimony isn't so much a scale testimony, but it's a non-scale testimony.
Yeah.
And of course, when I had these results, it got me really curious to do some research, and I started going online and looking up YouTube videos and different books on sugar and high fructose corn syrup, and started learning about the inflammation that causes by depositing fat into our livers. And all this inflammation is a result of us damaging our livers. And so if you get rid of